call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go! I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill it up, tension. In my thoughts up.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. So today we're going to be discussing why I think the Dolphins offense is going to be the most scary in the entire NFL and the reasonings behind it and all the players that we have and all this blah, 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 blah. But essentially what we'll get into is we'll start off with number one, the most dangerous we're going to make a list of the most dangerous players on the offense and how they're going to be dangerous this next coming year. So the first one we'll go over, Devonta Chain. So we have now a running back that runs basically similar speeds as the rest of the offense on this team. And now what you have is you have a guy that can go out of the backfield as a receiver and catch the ball. Devonta Chain has put on probably like 15 pounds since we last saw him. I think since he has stopped doing track, all he has done is bulk up. He's probably going to be the same size as Chris Johnson by the time he gets into season. So what we're seeing here is, honestly, we're all talking about how small he was. He is going to be a guy that is probably going to come in and he's going to excel immediately at his position and his role. So we're not going to see a guy that is basically doing running back things from the very start. But what we are going to see is we're going to see that it's sort of out of the backfield pass catching guy that just runs these explosive plays and allows the defense to have to hone in on him now as well whenever he's on the field. So how he's going to affect the team is that he is now going to give Tyreek and Jalen, and now it looks like Chosen Anderson, much more space to work with, whereas before it was just kind of suffocated towards Tyreek and Jalen, which they would make plays regardless, but it was all towards them. You didn't really need to guard too many other people because either Chase Edmonds would drop it or, Gesicki couldn't really, he didn't really want to do anything. So now we're getting closer to the top. So I think the next weapon is going to be Robbie Anderson or Robbie Chosen Anderson, and that is because this guy is 6'3". He's like 200 pounds or 190 or something like that. And he is fast, and it is showing in the camp. Like, you can basically see this guy's speed is ridiculous. And again, he is 6'3". He is not like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle where they are, shorter players. They are fast. He is 6'3", so he can go over the top of cornerbacks as well. And what is this? What are we talking about here? So basically, Chosen Anderson, now you have that guy where Trent Sherfield was our third receiver last year. And Trent Sherfield didn't really separate the defense too much. Well, now you have another guy that corners cannot make a mistake on. And now you have a guy that he will beat you down the field if you make a wrong step. And what that does for the offense is essentially now you have a third person that the safeties have to account for. Because before, obviously you account for Trent Sherfield, but mostly you're going for Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So the explosive plays that we had last year, now you have a third person that can do these things, because that's what Robbie Anderson is known for. He's known for those explosive plays. And now what you get is you get the safeties having to account for a third person running down the field. Whereas before, you backed up for Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. Well, now you have Chosen as well that is going to give you even more of a headache when you are in the backfield, because now you have to look at all three of these guys at what they're doing. Because the thing is if you make a wrong step any which way, like if you think Jalen is going deep and he stops and Chosen keeps going, if you take him, now that Chosen gets right past you. And the thing is it's just going to be ridiculous to now have a third receiver that does that. Obviously, we will compact these two into one. I think, obviously they're both going to have impacts, but Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are going to be, we can go over each one of them separately, but I'm going to go over them together. Honestly, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, you just have to account for them on every play. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill are just going to be, they already were hard to cover last year. Now you add more weapons around them. And it's just, the thing is with Tyreek is that he also can make crazy catch plays. So can Jalen Waddle. And I think Jalen Waddle's route running is some of the best in the league. And now you have more players around them. So obviously we can all talk about, what they did last year. I think it's going to be more improved this year because you have more players around you where the defense will kind of hone in on Jalen and Tyreek because everybody else really couldn't get as open as they could. Now they are going to have so much more running room to go along and do these different things because the corners now have to account for multiple other players that are the same exact speed. And, having Devonta Chain obviously is going to separate the defense even more. The person that I think is the scariest coming into this year, Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, the guy has come in. He looks like he's 20 pounds heavier. You even see in the OTAs, I mean, there are people like, honestly, I'm sorry, but like Omar Kelly that used to hate on him. He's even kind of enamored with what Tua is doing this year. And Tua, I think, has just proven finally. Obviously, there's going to be the people that use Tua's name for clickbait and trying to, get a reputation for saying, oh, Tua is not that great. I think Tua, there's a clip in the OTAs where James Blackman and Tua and all the quarterbacks are trying to get the ball into the net that's like yards away. And James Blackman is the first one to hit it, right? And Tua's up next. And this is just the mentality that I think we all have to account for when it comes to Tua, is that he's up next. And everybody obviously is watching him. Obviously. And he hits it right after James Blackman. You have to account for the amount of pressure, obviously, that is on him right after the undrafted rookie, hits it in the net. And you are Tua. You are the quarterback. You need to be the guy that hits it in the net first. And it's even more when you have to do it after somebody. And he does it right afterwards. The mentality that Tua has coming into this year, it's going to be scary. I think it is going to make this offense scary. And I think it is going to make this whole entire team scary. And this offense runs through him. And him and Mike McDaniel have this amazing relationship. And it's starting to blossom into this beautiful thing. And I just believe that Tua is going to make this offense the most scary offense in the NFL for not just this year. I think it's going to be for years to come. We are going to be dominant for a while. So these are going to be my guys that I think make this offense scary. I think the offense is going to be scary this year, and I just think it's just a whole different ball game coming into this new season. But as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Fins up, baby. Peace.